David, I will tell you this straight up. I said it last week. I'll say it again. That song is a banger. Okay. That stock StreamYard song, but I need it to end on something a little more of like a crescendo. I need something bigger. I need like a like TV talk.
Or at least a fade, maybe just like a
Yes.
subtle fade, something, just
Yes.
something to kind of bring it all together. But I'm there bopping my head for the 30 seconds, just doing
Yeah.
this for about 30 seconds. Yep,
bop.
yep, I'm digging it. Yeah.
Our good buddy Andy, who in the chat is STS_Andy M, Andy Merriweather, who does Settle the Score with Matt Nost, super talented musician, father, great dude. If he is bored and he is watching the show and he wants to write us a little 30-second to 45-second ditty for TV Talk, I'll take it.
Why not? We need some theme music. We need something.
We need
I honestly can't even remember what our music sounded like on Collider. I can't. If you were to tell me to hum the tune, I can't remember.
Did we have?
I think we had an intro. I thought we had an intro. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't remember.
Damn. Yeah, I don't remember any music. I just remember sitting there and like somebody like, "You're on, go."
I mean, we need the equivalent of like a Monday Night Football or Fox. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. We need something iconic, something memorable.
We really do.
Well, we'll see.
Well, we're here on a Wednesday at 3:00 because yesterday, which when we're normally supposed to do the show, I went to the hospital. I got a viral infection from Rosie that was insane. I quarantined from the family because the guy at the hospital said that I was very contagious. And so I stayed, and then it just kept getting worse. So I went to the hospital yesterday and they put me on all kinds of different painkillers and did all kinds of scans. And it turns out I just have some very inflamed like organs in my body from a viral infection. So I'm here, but I'm recovering, David. I feel a lot better.
I was worried, Josh, you a little behind the scenes. Josh sent me a photo of the symptoms, and I thought maybe he had the plague. I thought had been gone for hundreds of years, and I was a little bit worried. I was like, Josh, you might want to get that checked out. Just maybe checked out. That's not looking good. But I'm glad to hear that you're feeling a little better. I'm very glad to hear that.
But I didn't want this week to go by and us, one, not talk about the biggest story of the week, which is Justified coming back, and two, some of these Emmy noms and or Emmy snubs, if you will. So we came in. We're going to do, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes of a show, talk as much as we can. David's got some important family stuff to get to. And I'm basically playing hooky from work early because I usually like get off and I'm told my boss like, hey, I'm going to do something. He's like, just go do your thing. Shout out to the Hudsonizer for a super chat. If you guys want to support the show, you can support the show that way. You can also do a streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. We will read those out. Hudsonizer says WOT season 2 trailer dropped today after a season 1 that, in my opinion, was all right, but didn't live up to the hype. Have y'all seen it? Thoughts? What is WOT?
WOT is Wheel of Time, the Wheel of Time on Prime Video. Wheel, which is coming back on September 1st on Prime Video. Hudsonizer, I'm in the same boat you are. I thought the first season was fine. Ever since, again, Pride and Prejudice, Gone Girl, I feel like she can do no wrong. She's so dynamic. We'll see. It's supposed to be bigger stakes. The story gets bigger. There's a lot of books. There's like 14, 15, 16 something books. Yeah, Robert wrote a lot of books, and he passed. Another author came in, finished the series. Brandon Sanderson, who's a really good writer, came in and finished the series. It's got a lot of fans, but Hudsonizer, I can't say a little bit to the hype or not because I'm not familiar with the books except for just knowing some of the backstory. But
yeah, with that kind of IP, I feel like I'm walking into another trap. It's a trap. I don't want to talk about it, and then somebody be like, "Hey, stupid! In the book, you would know." I'm like,
I know, I don't know the book.
I don't want to get into that again. Like I had my family attacked when I didn't know what the Tower of Joy was in Game of Thrones, and I'm not going to go back into that. So I'm just going to that's that. So MKS Songbird, buffering or just me? It could be buffering. I don't know how the internet works. Sometimes it works really well up here. Sometimes it doesn't. And we're just going to have to weather the storm, if that's okay with everybody. Life's too short. Life's too short to worry about buffering, David. Right. You know what I mean?
We're not at the ESPN studios here. We don't have the 4K. It's just we're bare bones here. It's bare bones operation. We're trying.
Yeah, if I had the, what do they call it? The fiber to plug in here. I'd No, I don't have that fiber, David. You know, I take fiber before I go to bed at night so that I can stay regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. As dads, we need that. You got to stay regular. It's very important.
Everybody, if I can tell you one thing about happiness in life, it's staying regular. Okay. If that learn something from your Uncle Josh here on TV Talk.
Yes.
Hudson Iser said, book number 2 is one of the 3 best books in the series, easily, fortunately. Probably the fastest paced one, too, which is good for an adaptation. Yeah, you know, like I finished that Lord of the Rings show, and then I was like, I can't just go like fantasy to fantasy to fantasy to fantasy. I have to really cleanse my palate with reality and then go back to fantasy. Cleanse.
Josh, I'm proud of you. I'm just happy that you made it through the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. That you made it through there. That's good. And I'm actually a bigger Lord of the Rings fan. Read the books more than I am Wheel of Time. I'm just not familiar with it. So
yeah.
But I'm glad you made it through. So we can talk about that whenever season 2 comes out. Whenever that happens with all the who knows. But yeah. So.
I mean, hell, Game of Thrones took me a while to get into. It really did. Like I had to watch that first season twice just to be like, okay, I think I understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah. And also that was one of those cool shows where I read the books before it came out. And then when it came out, it wasn't like this massive success when it came out. It was a slow burn, especially I think it was like after season 1, then people watched it all in one. And it's like, oh, and then it started, you know, the snowball effect just kept going. But it took a while to get going. It wasn't like blow it up right from the beginning, which is cool.
No. And I think true to this fact of that happened with a lot of great shows. Like Breaking Bad wasn't a huge hit when it first aired. Mad Men definitely wasn't a huge hit when it first aired. Sopranos, yes, because it's HBO, but still HBO, very small crowd as compared to where it is today. I mean, The Wire, hell, nobody watched The Wire. Nobody watched The Wire. Yeah. It was, you know, you were still in the I mean, pre-streaming, we were still in like the flipping of channels shows.
Yeah. And it really, Game of Thrones is probably I feel like, we kind of cut off there for a second. I feel like Game of Thrones was the last water cooler show, if I can use that expression, a show that I think you kind of had to stay off the internet. You had to stay off Twitter. You had to stay off Facebook, just any social media. Like now, even as Last of Us was really good, but like I wasn't worried. I mean, I played the game, so I wasn't worried about getting spoiled. But I don't think anybody was worried like, oh no, I'm going to get spoiled on The Last of Us. I think with Game of Thrones, towards those final seasons, you really had to kind of like, it was just all spoilers were everywhere. But I don't know if we have a show like that. Maybe Stranger Things, maybe. But that comes out so it's so spaced apart. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think Stranger Things has been that show since season 2, maybe season 1.
Yeah, true.
Right.
And because they dump it all at once, like people watch it at different.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, the binge aspect of everything. If you don't watch it in the first 5 days, then you're going to walk into it. I mean, that's
right.
And that sucks, but like that's the nature of the beast, right?
It's true. Yeah.
Speaking of the nature of the beast, our buddy Kingsport Cal says, I'm halfway through The Bear season 2. Yes. I spent 18 years of my life in the restaurant biz. They got the kitchen dynamics down. It's a good show. I'm impressed. Agreed, Kingsport Cal. As somebody that spent 12 years of my life in the restaurant biz, David, the same. They've nailed it. Yeah, they've 100% nailed it. One of my favorite things I saw was like, Travis Barker and the Kardashian girl, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. And it's like when the kitchen staff marries the wait staff, right? Because the kitchen staff's always covered in tattoos and the wait staff is always just hot girls.
Upstairs, downstairs. Yeah, that's idea. Yes.
Back of house, front of house. Yeah. Brian Skilly. Season 4 of Stranger Things seemed like a big deal. It was for me at least. LOL, love that season. No, I think that season 4 was the comeback season that Stranger Things needed because you had Vecna and they finally had they had a new villain and it was a person and it like is tying the worlds together because this final season of Stranger Things is really going to be it. Right? Like it's going to be a big,
I mean, apart from, I'm sure they'll do spinoffs, but with this main story, this is it. Yeah. Season 5 is it.
Yeah. Jay Scott for real with a question. Glad I finally got a chance to catch this dynamic duo live for a bit. Hey, yo, is D Griff still working for IGN?
No, I was actually laid off back in December, but don't feel, no worries. I fortunately found a job within a few weeks, and I'm over at Amazon right now. So I'm trying not to be, if I talk about Prime Video, I'm not trying to, say everything's perfect. Everything's, I'm trying to be objective with all the shows. I'm not just going to talk about Prime Video shows, but if I do, please in the comments, you can call me out on it. But I am over at Prime Video right now, which is an awesome team over there.
Heck yeah. Tom G said, chat, I missed the intro. Did they say this is a new scheduled time? No, we will be back next week at the normal time. I was in the hospital yesterday dealing with a medical thing. I'm on the mend, as they would say. Okay. David, let's talk about the Emmy nominations. Last week, we talked right before they went out. I think we predicted a decent amount of this. A lot of people in chat, I know we're saying like, hey, Poker Face deserves all these Emmy noms. They got 1 or 2, right? Like,
where's Poker Face? Yeah, it's got some, I think, but it's not in the best. It's not in the best comedy category, but it is in the lead actress. So you have Natasha Lyonne is in there, but not in the comedy. But I guess from the top, the big one is of course drama series.
Yep.
I think a lot of the predictions had these right. It's cool to see Andor. I really like.
I know. Yes,
Andor was great. Andor's in there, of course. Better Call Saul.
Right.
One of the best shows. The Crown the Crown always makes its presence known. House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, Succession, The White Lotus, and Yellow Jackets. Josh, first I have to just point out what's crazy after all these years, after all these decades. I know Netflix had that 1 year. I think it was 1 year where they took The Crown concerning the most Emmy nominations in the category. But HBO is still king when it comes to awards. I mean, you have House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, Succession, and The White Lotus. You have 4 drama series from Max, whatever you want to call it now. But the HBO family, it's crazy. They're still just killing it when it comes to content.
Thank you, Jay Scott for real for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Helps support the show. I was trying to write a joke on Twitter about pitching a show at HBO. Or like coming up with a show or figuring out a show and them saying, listen, if this doesn't get at least 5 Emmy noms, we're not interested. Because that's basically what you have to do at HBO. The show has to be effing groundbreaking. And I don't know how they keep doing it year after year.
Not to get too inside baseball, a lot of it has to do with their leader, Casey Bloys. That guy, if you look at just type in Casey Bloys and see what he's kind of brought, helped bring to life at that network. He's one of the best. I know like there's a lot of, the executives, the evil people in the ivory tower, but Casey Bloys he's smart and he has a really good eye. His team has really good eye for, original program, unique. I mean, even think of like the stuff on Max, like Hacks. I mean, they just have because I remember when Max was announced, we're like, oh no, HBO is going to be diluted. The content's not going to be as good. HBO is going to try to compete with Netflix. But so far, at least this is just a TV division, not talking about the film side, but in TV, they're still doing great stuff. They're still putting out great shows every year. There's always something.
There's something about the way that HBO still does appointment viewing too. Yes, they're going to have, the Max shows that get released and, they're going to, have their binges and all that kind of stuff. But the fact that HBO still has appointment shows really makes me happy. Like it does. I love that. And Hijack has been the same this season. Amanda, my notification popped up, new episode of Hijack available. Amanda's like, Rosie's going to go to bed early tonight. I was like, yeah, we're putting her to bed early. It's Hijack night. Let's get weird.
Hijack is so good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Tom G, real quick in the chat. Griff, you're the man to ask to have Outer Range and Night Sky come back on Amazon Prime.
Outer Range and Night Sky. Night Sky is not coming back. This is not inside information from me. This is just, I believe that was already announced. Okay. And I believe Outer Range was renewed for its second season.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. The only thing is, yes, I believe it was renewed. But now with the writer strike and SAG and after and all that, I don't know when that's going to come out, but I believe the Night Sky is not coming back.
Okay. Jay Scott for real said, forgot to add my message to the super chat. Favorite episodes of The Twilight Zone. I've never watched an episode of The Twilight Zone and never will.
So many. I love The Twilight Zone. I can't remember the name, so please forgive me. One of my favorites, there's this one where this guy goes into a bank vault because he just wants some quiet to read his book because his wife is nagging him, his work is nagging him. He just wants some quiet to read his book. And then a nuclear explosion happens. I'm spoiling the episode. I apologize. I mean, it's like 80 years old. He comes out, everything's gone, but there's libraries there. There's books that he can read, and he finally has enough quiet time because of a nuclear holocaust. And then something happens at the end. I won't say what it is. I'll let people watch it. But
it's 80 years old, David. I'm sure spoiler alert is fine. I think we're okay.
Well, he steps on his glasses and he breaks his glasses. And that's the irony. So he's finally alone. He has food. He has books. He has endless hours to read. And he steps on his glasses. And now he can't read those books. And it's awful. And I think there's a part where he reaches for a gun, doesn't have bullets in it. I've seen that in some versions. And some versions they edit that out, I think. But it's one of my favorite episodes. Yeah.
Wiley Todd, thank you for the super chat. Help supports the show. I'm watching The Crown for the first time at the end of season 1, and I find it really slow in some episodes. Does it get better? No, it's just slow.
It is very slow. It's very British, but it's very good.
Wiley, the show is called The Crown. It's not called like Action Crown. It's about the royal family. When everybody's like, "Oh, it's so slow," I'm like, I don't think we ever witnessed anything in like the royals that comes out and they're like, "Bam, bam, bam." Like I don't, I wasn't expecting it to be Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, Dead Man Reckoning.
It's just a lot of conversations in rooms of people talking in very large. Ornate rooms and people just having conversations about what should and should not be done in the UK and the British Empire. But
we cannot.
I love it.
Be behaving this way, David. My sister shall be of utmost importance. The Princess Diana storylines. Leo does say are the best Crown of the Crown. I never even got to the Princess Diana seasons. I gave up. I was just over the Crown.
It's a good season. You can catch up, Josh. There's only one. I think they're doing 6 seasons. I think we have one more left. But
I'm going to tell you about my quarantine in a little bit, David, because I was quarantined for my family for about 48 hours. And all I did was watch pilots of shows that Amanda hasn't wanted to watch. I probably watched 9 pilots of shows, and I was not intrigued by any of them. None of them where I was like, man, I can't wait to watch another episode of it. I was just, I think there's too much TV. And that's coming from a guy that all he wants to do is watch TV.
There's too much. It's a good problem and a bad problem at the same time because I don't know. We like to ramble. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to talk about Secret Invasion later, but that's one of those shows. I think I got to drop it. I think I'm going to drop Secret Invasion.
I'm done. I have to drop it.
Because I was sitting there, I'm like, I have Justified Primeval. I have 2 episodes to watch of that. I have the new Hijack episode, and then there's also Secret Invasion from last week, episode 4. And I'm like, oh, there's not enough time. I can't watch all of them.
It's over. I want no spoilers, but the end of the show was me dropping Secret Invasion. It's going to be let him invade. I'm done. It's over.
Yeah. Sorry to jump ahead. I just don't think. I think there might be too much TV right now.
Too much.
You got to let some things go.
Pull it.
I just want to mention the comedy series here real quick. You got Abbott Elementary, Barry, The Bear, Jury Duty, which is awesome. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Only Murders in the Buildings. I don't really have any complaints here. I know some people in the comments said The Bear is not a comedy. You could even say that about Barry. Gets pretty emotional in some points. They have some good drama in Barry, even though it's super funny. But it's just kind of how the awards work. But that's a good selection of shows right there. I don't really have any complaints. Ted Lasso and Wednesday. I forgot Ted Lasso and Wednesday.
I will say straight up, my biggest surprise was that Jury Duty got the nominations that it did, and I'm so happy that it did because really and truly it was the most. I'll say it's a huge adjective to use, but it was a groundbreaking piece of television.
Yes,
because of how they went about it and what they did and how they were able to pull it off. Really, it's not groundbreaking for visual effects or for writing or anything. It's just groundbreaking for what they were able to do. And I'm pumped it got it. I'm a little bummed my show Primo didn't get nominated, but that's okay.
I forgot to tell you, Josh, Michelle and I are watching Jury Duty. I think we're on episode 6 or 7. We're almost done. Really enjoying it. Love it. God. It's so good.
Dude, the last episode is so heartfelt, man. It is so heartfelt. Yeah.
I like to see Daniel's comment down here about we've left the golden age of television, enter the cutthroat era.
Yes,
it is cutthroat. Yeah, you have to make some hard. You got to cut some things. You got to cut them out. It's like, sorry, don't have time.
Because there used to be, I think what we're missing. It's almost like the middle class, right? Is you've got these crazy amazing shows, And you've got these just trash shows like Love is Blind and MILF Island and all these whatever, right? It's the middle shows that you just lose because you don't have time for them or they didn't grab you. And everybody's got their shows. I'm not trying to dog anything except for the fact that Amanda's on like season 3 of Body of Proof, which is just a crappy procedural about a woman identifying bodies. And I just it's hard to wrap my brain around watching a lot of these shows that nowadays, David, I used to give the 3-episode test. Yeah. I don't have time for 3 episodes anymore.
Agreed. Maybe two.
What's his Fool's Gill said, I would join a subscription service where I am giving pilots to watch and rate. Right. So if you and I just watched pilots and said, this is worth your time, this isn't, or this show, like I can't tell you how many shows, David, are on like recently watched on my Netflix, Hulu, Prime, everything. Yep. Hey, would you like to continue watching these shows? And I'm 2 episodes, 3 episodes in. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Good. Like, nope. Someone say real quick. J. Scott Friel said Silo on Apple TV Plus was my last binge. Really enjoyed it. I agree. I love Silo. Graham Yost was the former showrunner on the original Justified series. He's not doing Justified Primeval because Silo got renewed. He's very busy in the Silo world, but he's a great writer, one of the best showrunners.
He's in a silo, David?
He's in a silo buried underneath the earth, keeping humanity safe. It's a very good show, though, on Apple TV.
Jeremy Miller with a solid question. You have any thoughts on the Golden Bachelor, which is the dude's just old?
He's very handsome though. He's super like 71. Handsome good. Yeah,
if I look that good at 71, I think the rule on these shows is you can only have had 1 plastic surgery done. Like boobs, that's it. Like I don't want a ton of plastic women. I don't want a ton of plastic dudes applying for this. I want like natural guys that just still look good, natural women that still look good. And they just are looking for love. Because I guarantee you, this could be fun, David. I might watch The Golden Bachelor.
Okay.
They're all going to be either divorced or they've got kids or they had like a long, just.
But the kids are going to be like grown though. They're going to be grown. They'll be old kids.
And that's the shit I'm talking about. Is the hometowns now have the flip?
Yes.
And that's what I want to get.
Oh yeah, because unless his parents were like 100 years old, they're not going to have to talk to the parents. Hope they're going to have to talk to the kids. It's not going to be the parents.
Yeah. If they do meet the parents, like, what'd she say? What'd she say, Dad? What was it? Like poor old, it's like they go to my grandma's assisted living place. I love my grandma. She's the best. She's 94. Yes. She can't hear anything anymore. She can't. And she's so sweet and I love her, but it's really hard, as you get older. That's why I'm saying if I make it to 90 and I can still play golf, I think that's where my thing is. If I can still like go to the golf course and play golf, great. If once they take me off the golf course, just push me into a lake and light me on fire like I'm a Viking. Just give me a bunch of pills and send me out there.
With the bows, shooting the
just shoot the bow and arrow at me. I'm out there Viking style. I don't need, you know what I mean? I don't need that. Damon R 1974, great to see you, buddy. Hello, Josh and David. I finally get a chance to watch the show live. Normally, I'm golfing while you guys are on. Damon R, let's go. Where are you golfing? Can we get invited?
Yeah,
David and I need to join you for some.
I need to play golf more. I try to get out once a week. That's about as much as I can do right now. About once a week if I'm lucky. Yeah.
Did you play last week?
I did. Yeah, I did. Mostly, I make sure I at least go to the range. At least if I can't play on a course, at least go to the range, just so I can keep that swing fresh.
Swing the
keep
club.
Keep it going.
Swing the club every day, all the time. MKS Songbird, solid joke. Microplastics in the water have made sure we're all a bit plastic people. Yeah, sure. We'll take the microplastic. Okay, let's go to actor and actress.
Yes. So actor, it's a lot of people competing against themselves, against the same show. So Succession has 3: Brian Cox, Kieran Culkin, Jeremy Strong, all deserving. Yes. Yeah, Jeff Bridges on The Old Man. Josh, I know you didn't stick with it, but I like The Old Man. That's on Hulu.
I did 4 episodes. You know what? I'm going to get back into it just for you.
I liked it.
Finish Old Man. Okay.
And then, of course, you got Bob Odenkirk, the great Bob Odenkirk in Better Call Saul, and Pedro Pascal, huge lead actor in a drama for The Last of Us.
Wow.
Yeah. Good list.
I think this is the one Bob Odenkirk gets. I think this is the one he gets.
Okay.
Because he hasn't won. He hasn't won yet.
Okay.
right? I mean, I'm pretty sure he hasn't won.
Yes.
Pedro doesn't get it, and I think the
No.
Succession guys knock each other out, and I think Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges is in there just for fun. Not for fun, but I mean, like, I think he's in there as the long shot. If I was doing Vegas odds,
Right.
I think I would give the top odds to Bob Odenkirk. Listen, he had like a heart attack, right? During the filming of the last season.
He did.
Came back.
Yeah.
That the last 2 episodes, even 3 episodes of the series of Better Call Saul, and this show as a whole, the whole last season, he is a glue unlike I've ever seen in a show before. Bob Odenkirk as Better Call Saul, you forget that he is an actor. Forget that he's an actor. He's incredible. So I think he gets it. Yeah.
I was checking, and people can correct my math. I might be off here. I was going to say maybe the Succession guys could get nominated again next year, but the finale aired on May 28th, which I think the cutoff, I believe, is May 31st for this current Emmy. So I don't think so. This is it, I think.
Yeah, this is the last one.
It would be a cool story if Kieran Culkin got it. I just thought Kieran, but I don't think for lead actor.
I think they knock each other out. I mean, Jonathan Peckhast, I'm curious which Succession actor will win for Best Actor for Drama. I have a feeling it's going to be one of them. It won't be Brian Cox. I personally think that Brian Cox in that show he's one note. He's just one note. I never enjoyed his role. I didn't.
He's a great one note. I mean, in terms of his performance.
Yes.
But
yes. Yeah. But if anybody gets it, it's Jeremy Strong. That last scene when he's like, "I'm the oldest boy." That is to deliver that line truthfully, believably, and in that moment that's an acting masterclass right there. I mean, it's really and Daniel Seguya says that Odenkirk on The Bear was amazing. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah,
he's always good. I haven't tried his new show on AMC Plus there, the Hank or something. I think he's a professor at a school. It's called Hank something. It's on AMC. It's out right now. I don't know if the whole season's out, but if you have AMC Plus, you can watch it.
Dude, that's another streaming service. Paramount Plus and AMC Plus, I just haven't gotten to. And last weekend when Rory McIlroy was winning the Scottish Open, I had to download the CBS Sports app and then sign in with my parents' cable because it wouldn't take my DirecTV login.
It's tough. It's a struggle out there, Josh. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Thanks, David.
Looking at the leading ladies here, Sharon Horgan for, I think it's just Hogan. I think they are silent. Bad Sisters. Okay. I didn't watch it, but I loved her in that Amazon series Catastrophe. I don't know if anybody saw that. That's Sharon. Yeah. She's great. Yep. Melanie Linsky on Yellow Jackets, Elizabeth Moss for The Handmaid's Tale, Bella Ramsey, Last of Us, Kerry Russell, The Diplomat, and Sarah Snook for Succession. This lineup is a little bit more diverse than the male lineup for sure. Definitely got a lot of different shows there. I don't think there are no repeats there. All different shows.
I think that if anybody from Succession wins, it could be Sarah Snook. The episode where they find the letter from the dad after he dies and she falls in the living room and she makes that sound. Mm-hmm. That is like an Emmy-worthy episode for her. I think she could win there. I watched the pilot to Bad Sisters and I was entertained, but Amanda didn't like it, so we kind of got away from it.
And Yellow Jackets, I liked it. I don't know if I give it like a
first season.
I like the first season. But I don't know. I haven't kept up with it. I didn't watch. Did you watch season 2? I didn't watch season 2.
I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know you checked out The Diplomat. I love Kerry Russell in The Americans. She's awesome. I didn't see The Diplomat though.
Diplomat was okay. I don't know if it was good or not, but I watched all the episodes.
All right.
It was one of those shows where Amanda liked it, I liked it, and we kept watching it because I like to be around my wife and I like to watch what she's watching, and it's nice to spend time together.
Yes.
And it was one of those shows where I kept I wasn't on my phone the whole show, but every now and then I would check Instagram, right?
Okay.
But Kerry Russell is great, and she is really, really good in that show, and kind of very un-Kerry Russell-like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have to give it a shot.
Yes.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Who do we have here? So do you want to do the comedy people?
Yeah, let's do comedy. Yeah.
Okay, comedy. So for best actor in a comedy, we have lead actor, Bill Hader, Barry, Jason Segel, Shrinking, Martin Short, Only Murders in the Building, Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso, and Jeremy Allen White for The Bear. I know this would probably be supporting, so I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I wish Harrison Ford would have received a nomination.
Does he not get nominated for supporting?
He doesn't. No.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was a bit of a snub. Yeah, I
Total
wish.
snub. He is
Yeah.
that show. He is so good in that show.
Yeah, he really is.
He is. Yeah, this is a weird thing, but I think it's his best performance since Regarding Henry. Do you remember that movie?
I do. Yeah, he's a jerk. He gets shot and in the brain, and now he's not a jerk anymore.
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Great. Yeah. No, I like. That's one of my mom's favorite films. I've seen that a few times. Yes.
I love that movie. Serge says it best. Harrison Ford got robbed. You're right.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah. Serge, he did.
Yeah.
I think that Sudeikis gets it for Ted Lasso. I think
final season.
Final season. Yeah. A revolutionary character in television. A character we needed when Ted Lasso came out. Kind of.
Yes.
You can say what you want, but I think Ted Lasso brought the world back into some like light, some positivity when we needed it most. And so I think you give it to Sudeikis.
Yeah, you need those feel-good shows. Moving on to the ladies here. You have Christina Applegate for Dead to Me. Okay. Rachel Brosnahan, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary. Natasha Lyonne for Poker Face. And Jenna Ortega for Wednesday.
Okay. I think you got to give it to Brosnahan, right? I think her body
final
of
season.
Yeah.
But Christina Applegate with her, I mean, I don't, for
MS,
some of the stuff off camera.
I never watched Dead to Me. I think I watched the pilot and didn't like it. But Amanda, I think, has watched every episode.
I've watched every. I think it's done now. I think it's because of what some of Christina Applegate.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, listen. I think the last season of Maisel was incredible. I think the final episode was so good. Mm-hmm. I think the makeup department for how they aged Brosnahan.
Yes.
With like the plastic surgery look, but not too Joan Rivers, like just Joan Rivers enough that you believed that she was in her 70s. I think she deserves it. I think Brosnahan. Yeah, I think. And
can I just what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
No.
I just want to point aside just real fast before we move away from Emmys. The guest actor category for actress and actor is all HBO. Real fast. Murray Bartlett, The Last of Us. James Cromwell, Succession. Lamar Johnson, The Last of Us. God, butcher his name. I'm not going to say it. Succession, Nick Offerman, Last of Us. And then Montreal Woodard for The Last of Us. And then in the drama series, in the guest actors category, all Succession, The Last of Us. It is all HBO. All the guest actor comedy drama series, male, female, all HBO. Just clean sweep. Crazy.
If your agent comes and they're like, hey, so we got you a guest starring role on yes, I'll take it.
Yes. Emmy nomination.
Done. Jeremy Miller makes a solid point. The Bear is going to take all the guest spots next year. It's going to take a lot of them from one episode. One episode.
Yep. 100%. Yep.
Yeah. Because I think in the comedy series, Oliver Platt got a nomination for guest actor.
Guest in comedy, John Bernthal, Platt. Yeah, John Bernthal and Oliver Platt. Yep.
And Oliver Platt. Yeah.
Yep.
And really and truly, if John Bernthal's in your show, you're doing something right. The guy, put him in everything. Yeah, just put him in. Even if he's in it for like 5 minutes, like, oh, there's your Bernthal. Go ahead. Just have him work on every show ever. Just put him in it. I don't care.
It's okay. Small, quick side story. I was at it's not a humble brag. It's not because of work. I won a award thing, and I got to go to the red carpet premiere for The Walking Dead season 1, first season. And I was there like in the fan section. I didn't get to go the red carpet. It wasn't anything fancy like that. I was in the fan section. They let us in after everybody else got to go. Anyway, Bernthal came out, and Bernthal wasn't even famous then. No one knew who he was, but people knew who he was playing. The fans of the comic book knew, and everybody when they saw him booed him. It was hilarious. And they're just booing, and he was like, living it up. Like he knew the character he was playing. He was kind of hated. People were booing him because of his character. Now he's just so beloved. He went on to beat the Punisher and Wolf of Wall Street, and I mean just everything that he's had success in. I mean he's awesome. He's one of the best.
David, I think Punisher was like peak TV talk when we were at Collider.
Yeah.
And that is to this day my favorite Marvel series, and it's not close. It's not even close.
And you get the Bear reunion. You get Eben Moss-Backrack and John Bernthal. They were teammates in the Punisher, and they were friends in the Bear. It's great. Yeah.
And talk about Eben Moss-Backrack, like going from just great role to great role. The dude just nails it every friggin' time.
Yeah,
every time.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Jay Scott for real said, guess I need to revisit The Bear. Bailed after a couple of episodes because it stresses me out. Yeah, it should stress you out.
Yeah.
It should. And yeah, Jeremy Miller, I'd still say Daredevil is my favorite. I'm not taking anything away from Daredevil because both of those, the other two kind of stunk, or three, I guess. I don't know. Iron Fist was obviously horrendous.
Fist.
Was the
what
other
else? I can't believe I'm blanking. That seems like so long ago. It wasn't that. Oh, Luke Cage.
Oh, Luke Cage had its moments.
Luke Cage. First season was good.
First season.
What else was there? Daredevil, Punisher,
and the girl one.
I'm blanking.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah,
I do like Kristen Ritter. I
love Kristen Ritter. She can do no wrong. Put her in more stuff too.
Yes.
I think Punisher and Daredevil seasons 1 and 2 were just game changers. And then Punisher came along. Oh, God, it was so good. Yeah. The Defenders was not a great jam up. It was like if you took two great bands and then you just gave them like a bunch of the leftovers from like P. Diddy's making the band and you made a show and you're like, oh, this is the Defenders. Like,
yeah. That is one of the, I know we're getting a little overload.
And here we thought my internet was bad at the beginning of the show.
I think we both just cut out.
You're good. You're back. You're back, baby. You're back.
Thanks.
What were you saying? I know you were saying. I know.
Oh, I was just saying I'm excited. Charlie Cox is coming back for the new Daredevil series. I'm excited for that. I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay. There's your thoughts on the Emmys from David Griffin and I. This is TV Talk for those that are joining us and haven't seen it. Like, oh, TV Talk's back. Yeah, David and I got bored, and we missed each other, and we're on opposite ends of California now, and I don't get to see him as often in person, and both dads. And we wanted to keep talking TV, and we wanted to watch TV for a reason. Yes. And that is to talk to you nice people. So if you want to help support the show, you can just throw in a super chat, Streamlab it, share it, do whatever it is you do that make and listen, if you've got any questions and you just want to talk to us about TV, that's what the chat's for. We look at the chat the whole damn show. So whatever you guys want to talk about, David and I, we just love TV. I'm never going to tell you not like what to watch. That's never been my goal in this at all, except Supergirl. Don't watch that. That was an awful show. Okay. I'm never going to tell you what to watch and what not to watch, but I will. We're just going to tell you what we like to watch. That's all. Speaking of, what are you watching right now? Okay. So David, I'm just going to tell you straight up. Here's what happened. I got sick. They put me in quarantine. I started watching shows. Okay. Finished Jack Ryan. Did you finish Jack Ryan?
I did not. I saw about half of it.
Okay.
But I did enjoy, I like straight lace, kind of maybe a bad guy, Michael Pena.
Yes.
I do like that version of Michael Pena. He's fantastic.
Right. He's so good in that show. What he was really crushed was season 1 of Narcos Mexico. Right? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So good. I mean, when he, spoiler alert, but
sad.
Yeah, super sad. But when he unfortunately was eliminated from the show, I guess I'll just say it like that. That was heartbreaking. He's such a good actor, and David, a great golfer. He was on TV a few times this week for that American Century. Great golf swing, heck of a golf swing. Yeah.
Okay.
Jordan Anderson said, "Is there anything that wasn't nominated for the Emmys that you think should have been nominated, or are you happy with the nominations?" I mean, there's always something. Like we said, Harrison Ford not getting a nomination.
Most of the shows nominated are the ones that are critically accepted as like some of the best shows on TV. I'd love to see Titus Welliver get nominated for Bosch. Legacy. I love Bosch, but one of the Bosch actors is in Justified City Primeval. He has a very small, one of the detectives, the really cool one, always has the hat. He's been in like some Spike Lee movies. Spike Lee uses him in some of his movies. I can't remember the actor's name. He's been around for years. I'll have to look up his name. But anyway,
Yeah, no, Jordan, to be honest with you, I'd have to do like a ton of, but nothing popped out at me like, oh man, I can't believe that person didn't get nominated. I think the Emmys usually gets it pretty right. And if they want to add people to categories, they just do it. There's no rhyme or reason as to like how many people can and can't get nominated, like the Oscars.
Yeah. I saw Claiborne Davis asked about Foundation. Yes, Foundation season 2 is premiered. If Josh, you were to ask me, David, describe Foundation for me in 3 sentences, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it in a paragraph. I have no idea how to describe Foundation. I love it. I think it's really cool. You kind of understand it by the end of season 1, kind of. But Claiborne, if you're looking for some type of clarity, like in the first couple episodes, no. It's like it's hard science fiction. It's deep, man. That's like a deep story. I still don't understand it, but I like it.
So for me, it's a
no. Don't watch it, Josh. No,
hard
sci-fi.
Yeah.
And Josh, there are robots. There is one. There at least is one robot on there.
The only robots I like are like the cool androids in the Star Wars. Like in Andor, he's got his cool little, and his mom's got the helper one, and in Obi-Wan, and you got R2, and they're just like these sweet little robots. They're always helping. They're adorable. It's the ones that you don't want to trust. That's the bad ones.
Yes.
Okay? Those are the robots that we don't go for. So I finished Jack Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall that series was a total A for me. Just a A overall. I didn't love season 3, but beginning to end, I loved his dynamic with Michael Kelly and Wendell Clark. It's just awesome. Or Wendell Pierce. Wendell
Pierce. Yeah.
Pierce,
you got it. Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Clark, I think, was a goalie in the NHL. Right. Hijack, David.
Yes.
This is the best. This is the best show in the last couple months.
So good. And it's not doing anything fancy. It's just your like basic thriller that's on a plane. We've seen it before. You got the Air Force One. We've seen plane hijackings before, but it's just done really well. And all the characters are interesting. Like every episode, you learn a little bit more about another character. And every character, there's not one character I'm like, oh, this person again. Right. I want to learn more about every character. I think that's one of those shows just kind of keeps you coming back for more. Yeah. Watch Hijack.
Hijack is okay. No spoilers, obviously. This past episode, do we like maybe I'm going to give a spoiler away, so I got to kind of watch what I'm going to say here. But did you think the demands were going to be something different? Like I'm kind of confused as to why these people are doing what they're doing if the demands are what they are.
I'm just guessing again. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just guessing that the demands are a distraction. It's not the real thing they're after. Whoever wouldn't even know who they are at this time. We just know there's these people controlling things. That's all we know. So that's the other cool thing. You don't really know what's going on yet. It's just
I don't know.
Who are the real bad guys? That kind of thing, which I love it.
What is Idris Elba? We don't even know really what he is.
I think he's kind of like Michael Clayton. That's the best thing. He's kind of a fixer working for law firms, maybe. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is.
Exactly,
maybe, Maybe. It's like Michael Clayton. Yeah.
Smartest guy in the room kind of stuff?
Smartest guy in the room, yeah. I think that's what he is.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about Secret Invasion. We're both out. I'm out.
Yeah.
Done. Somebody just tell me what happens. I spoil it for me. I don't care. Spoil it for everybody.
I mean, we could watch the last episode and review that and watch the end credit scene.
Yeah, sure. What's next? Is She-Hulk? Did I try to watch that She-Hulk show? That was borderline unwatchable. And that's from our girl Orphan Black, who I love.
Love Tatiana Maslany. Love her.
Oh my God, she's the best. And that show was, again, borderline unwatchable.
I like that a little more than Secret Invasion. If I was going to pick one to watch, I would watch She-Hulk over Secret Invasion.
I mean,
I like the comedy, the sitcom.
I like falling down a hill better than I liked sliding down a hill, I guess.
Oh no, Josh is out. He's done with Marvel. He's out.
I don't like parking tickets, just like I don't like speeding tickets. I guess. I mean, they're all. It's you know what I mean. Okay, I'm done. Okay, so David, somebody people have been telling me watch Mrs. Davis. Mrs. Davis
Peacock.
On Peacock. I watched the pilot. I couldn't be less interested in a show.
Oh no.
It was an hour-long pilot, and I was just.
And isn't that like, I feel like it's one of the big showrunners. Isn't that like Damon Lindelof or somebody?
I think it feels Lindelof-y for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Tara Hernandez and Damon Lindelof. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you watch The Leftovers? Not to go too far
Of
back.
course, I love the
Such a good show. Yeah,
HBO just
such a good
crushed.
show. I'm just thinking of Damon Lindelof. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, Mrs. Jones or Mrs. Davis, and I love and talk about a show that gone too soon is Glow. They needed to do a final season. They really needed because Betty Gilpin is a great actress. She's great. Even she can't really get me this show.
And real quick, I'm not trying to again throw hate on any other streaming service because I think Netflix has done some great things. But has Netflix been a little quiet lately, or am I just maybe because I don't watch the what's his name, the Hemsworth movie? I know that's big, but I haven't. I just haven't. I feel like it's quiet. I just don't really see, except for The Witcher, the season 3, the final season with Henry Cavill. I haven't really heard much about Netflix recently. Like, I just realized I haven't used my Netflix app in probably over a month. I don't think I've watched anything on Netflix.
I started watching them 2 episodes into the quarterback
Extraction.
show.
Sorry, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, Extraction. There you go.
Extraction.
I watched the first 2 episodes of Quarterback. I watched the first 2 of the American Gladiators. I watched the first 2 of the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary.
I watched that. I watched that.
I'm like 2 episodes into all of those, and I don't care about Patrick Mahomes. I don't care about Kirk Cousins, and I really don't care about Marcus Mariota. And you know, I feel like all of those shows are done the exact same way. Right. They're just done the same way. Right. And I don't know how you do it differently. I'm not saying I'm just, we've been 24/7 and hard knocked to death that to do this show again and again, it's kind of like, I already know what happens. I know what happens. You know, Patrick Mahomes is good. You know, Marcus Mariota isn't. And you know, Kirk Cousins is somewhere in between. That's
true.
it.
That's true. They don't need to watch it. I just realized though, look at your bills come in, you see the Netflix bill. I'm like, have I been watching Netflix?
Right. Yeah. The only thing we get, I honestly, what we use Netflix most for is Rosie, because it's got Coco Melons. I mean, we use Disney Plus mostly for Rosie. You know, MK Songbird, Netflix K-drama Bloodhounds was pretty great. Huh?
Okay, all right, Bloodhounds. Okay,
Hard Knocks is covering the Jets this year, but I heard they're trying to limit the access to the Jets.
Ooh, so. Let them show everything. Let them show Aaron doing his crazy stuff. I want to see everything.
Put him on mushrooms. Give it to us. Yeah. Okay, David. I watched this show called Animal Control with Joel McHale. Now, I don't like Joel McHale at all for personal reasons and professional reasons. Okay.
Ooh.
But Animal Control, is pretty decent. It's not bad. Okay. It's a stupid comedy, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. I really think that a big thing that we've missed out on in the world, and I know you don't watch a lot of them, David, and we are on opposite spectrums. Yeah. But stupid comedies, personally, Abbott Elementary is a stupid comedy, but it's great. Great. We need more stupid comedies. We really do. And if Abbott Elementary is proof of anything, is they've got to be easier to produce and less expensive. Just do 20 or 30 episodes of stupid comedies year after year and let us watch them.
Yeah.
Just watch them. Yeah.
Abbott Elementary is like one of those shows where I always say less is more, have 6 to 8 episodes, especially for hour-long dramas. Yeah. But a show like Abbott, I could do 30 episodes a year. Even if one isn't quite as good as another one, I'd be fine with that because it's just such an easy thing to watch for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm all for
it. Animal Control is just insanity. Fool's Guild. I dropped Animal Control after the first episode. Too mean-spirited, at least. Well, that's Joel McHale's MO. He's a mean-spirited douche in real life and out.
Is McHale the chef in The Bear? His
yes,
he's the mean chef. He's Carmine's old chef from New York City.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that's who Joel McHale is.
Okay.
Seriously, it's not far off. Crown Royal 007, great to see you as well. Here live on a Wednesday. We'll be back Tuesday next week. Okay, What We Do in the Shadows. This show continuously just warms the heart. It's so stupid, but I love it, David. It's the only show I've ever watched with vampires or anything like that, and it's just so dumb, but it's so well done. I can't recommend it high enough. And
I saw the first couple episodes of season 1. I was laughing. I just didn't keep up with it, but
yeah. The new season is out now. I'm not all the way caught up to the new season, but it never disappoints. It really doesn't.
Josh, where are they? Are they at 4 or 5?
They're in season 5 now.
Wow. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
We're at the point in the show that we wanted to get to for the last 50 minutes. And that's justified. I know. Justified Primeval City. And David and I have to leave in about 7 minutes.
Okay? Yes.
Wiley Todd saying it best. Wiley Todd, I think FX is the best in the game right now. I don't disagree with you. I think them and HBO continuously put out solid TV programming. Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, Netflix, they all kind of middle compared to those two.
Yeah, I think like Netflix and those networks, they put out the most stuff, but I feel like FX might be like pound for pound. If we're doing like, baseball batting averages, FX might be the best, like in terms of like quality, quantity to quality. Everything they put out is at least like, okay, like you want to pay attention. Like FX has a new show. Like, like I heard that FBI show Class of 09.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the best things about it, but again, when I saw a trailer for it, I was like, ooh, that looks interesting.
Watch it. Yeah. I still haven't watched it, but I think I will.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy Miller says, is this a sequel to Justified? Right now, no. But it is in the same universe, right?
Yeah, if we're talking about Star Wars or Marvel, we would say this is canon. It is part of the canon. It's been 15 years since Raylan Givens left Harlan County. His daughter is in this, a lot older. Timothy Oliphant's actual daughter plays his daughter.
They have very cool. They have similar mannerisms.
They really do.
Yeah. It's really similar.
They really do. So it's in the same world, but they don't like, if you haven't seen old Justified, you could step into this. I mean, you might not know much about Raylan, but I think they give you enough context that you could watch it without watching the original series. But you should. You should watch the original series.
I will say, Boyd Holbrook. Okay. Better Call Saul introduced us to one of the greatest TV villains of all time, and that's Lalo Salamanca.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
An absolute unhinged human that is calculatedly terrifying.
Yep.
And Boyd Holbrook in one episode, you can tell just by when he enters a room, his behavior, what he is an awesome villain.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't even know sociopath. I don't even know, like, after one episode where this show is going. I don't care. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
He's like one of those villains. The movie The Dark Knight said it best when Alfred said that some men just want to see the world burn. He is like the Joker. You can't really tell what motivates him. Is it sex? Is it money? Is it power? I think it's everything. But in between all that, he just wants to see chaos. And that's he's terrifying because he could do anything at any moment. You just don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And he in Narcos, he's a hero.
Yeah.
In Logan, he's a villain. In this, he's a villain. He plays both ends really well because going from hero to villain is really tough. It's really, really hard.
Oh, Josh, what was the show? What was Boyd in? Remember he had the things with the eyes. Oh, The Sandman.
Oh,
he's a villain in the Sandman. I forgot he was in that, and he was a villain in The Sandman too. He's on a roll right now. He's kind of quiet. Like he just kind of sneaks into these roles. You're like, oh, that guy. Yeah.
Right. Talk about an actor that just came out of nowhere and crushes. He's sort of like Charlie Cox. He's like John Bernthal, right? These dudes that just do it. They just nail it.
Yeah, every time.
Did you watch that show, Why the Last Man?
I feel bad. I actually never watched a single episode, and I've read all the graphic novels. Brian K. Vaughan. I've read the whole series. It's a great comic book, but I never saw the show.
So did the show get renewed for a season 2?
No, it was canceled.
Damn. I really liked that first episode of TV, or that season of TV. I thought it was great. And so the woman that plays the cop in Primeval City, the woman with the red hair, she was in Why the Last Man, and she was great in Why the Last Man. Really, really good. I think this cast is awesome. I can't wait to see what happens with that bartender and Boyd Holbrook, like what their backstory is.
Yeah.
I love that Boyd Holbrook in this show too. Not only is he a sociopath villain, but he's trying to be like a country music star.
I know. Yeah.
He's trying to be a singer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you've ever been to Detroit and you ever spent any time in Detroit, they really capture Detroit well in this show.
They do. Yeah.
It's a strange city. It's like a lot of cities in the Midwest that had huge points of prosperity and unbelievable declines, and the people that have stuck around and the attitudes that have stuck around and the element that has stuck around, David.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Also, too, I'm interested in Raylan Givens' relationship with the defense attorney. It seems like they're hinting at there's like some chemistry there. Like they're maybe attracted to each other, but I'm just curious to see where that's going to go.
I agree. I loved her in that opening scene.
Yeah.
And I want the wife to show up at some point in the season because I love that actress. Raylan Givens, from Justified.
She's in that show, that NBC show where they're going like underneath, like in the center of the earth, and they come out and there's dinosaurs. What's that show? I don't know what that show is called.
La Brea.
I'm like Natalie Zay. Natalie, I think it's
Natalie Zay.
What are you doing? I mean, I'm glad she's getting paid. I'm glad the girl's getting paid. But yeah, I hope she shows up at some point.
Yeah. Leo said, Josh, does Mandy look like Michelle Williams? Yes. So Adelaide Clemens. Ooh. David, do you remember the show that we loved?
Rectify.
Rectify. When she popped on the screen, I was like, wait, Rectify. God, I loved that show.
Playing a very different role. A very different role than Rectify.
Yes, very different. I will say, I think Rectify might be the most underrated TV show of all time. Straight up.
So good.
It's not even close. That show is so friggin' good. It was on Sundance Channel, right?
Yeah, Sundance, yeah.
God, I think so. Yes.
That was a good one.
That show was so good. That show, Heartbreaker. Oh my God. That show and Halt and Catch Fire on AMC.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep.
Those two shows kind of changed my perspective on how TV could be.
Yeah.
And the mom in Rectify is the lawyer in Succession. My brother's like, where's this woman been before? I was like, go watch Rectify. Yeah. My brother's been he's been really sick for a while, and I was like, you need to go watch Rectify. You can't even find Rectify streaming anymore. You got to buy it.
Wow. Yeah, I guess if it was going to be anywhere, excuse me, it would be on AMC Plus if it was, because I think that's all part of the AMC. That's so crazy. You can't find it anywhere. It's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm so pumped for Primeval City. I just love the fact that Raylan Givens is back, and we'll be reviewing it and talking about it every week on the show because David and I love it. And if I would hope that this leads us into Bosch Legacy. I know it's two different things, but like our crime need, because they've had to have shot Bosch Legacy and all that before the strike, right? Like
I believe so. I think it's done. Yeah,
okay.
It's done.
Good. All right, let's do our and then get the heck out of here because I got a work call I got to go to. Yeah. All right, David, your
anybody's paying attention, Comic-Con is coming up. Comic-Con starts today. I think today's preview night. It's Wednesday. So I'm going down there for one day. I'll be there Friday, heading back Saturday. Can't stay there too long. But Comic-Con's happening. Yes, there are panels that are going to be there. There's going to be shows that are going to be there, even though I'm sure actors and writers may be sitting out for some of that. But I would still, keep your eyes and ears glued. Look out for new trailers, new images, because studios are still going to be releasing content, even if the actors and writers aren't there to promote it. So pay attention to Comic-Con this weekend, see what comes out.
David, you and I have some great memories together at Comic-Con. That one year we had to just live in Studio 20. What was that place called?
Ballroom 20. We were there for like 8 hours. All the CW shows, all the Flash shows.
We fell asleep in there together. That was something. But remember we were reviewing that show and that dinosaur came running out?
Yeah. He scared you. You screamed.
Nikes out of me. We hit a couple parties. I do miss Comic-Con. Not any of the working part of Comic-Con. I just miss hanging out with buddies down in San Diego for Comic-Con. And if you're there tomorrow night, go see Mark Ellis at American Comic Company, and go to the All Things Comedy channel and check out Mark Ellis's comedy special. Ken and I opened for it, but it's Mark's hour plus of comedy, and it's fantastic. My week is the British Open, the Open Championships this weekend, David. Open Championships, another reason to wake up in the middle of the night and watch golf. I can watch
Royal Liverpool
in Hoylake in Liverpool in England. My pick is hometown boy Tommy Fleetwood. Gets it done.
I'm rooting for him.
Tommy Fleetwood. Watch that man. Just watch his hands. Just trap that ball, David. He really gets that shoulder in there. Pops right in there. Hey, Kate Van D. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here in chat. This is TV Talk. We're going to be back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. We went live today at 3 p.m. because I got sick. But David, thank you for being here. Tell the missus and the boy that we love them. And follow David at Griffin DE. Maybe he'll get a Twitter eventually so I can tag him in some tweets.
Yes. Yeah. We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
This is our channel. Subscribe to the channel, share it, tell everybody about it. Thanks for the super chat. Same to Streamlabs. We'll see you next time. Until then, I'm going to hit this end broadcast. Be positive. Put down the book.